So, hello everybody. Thank you. There's a lot going on here. I'm not hungry, thank you. I might have something, but I need to sit here for a little bit. So, how often does the family get together for the holidays? Are you just Thanksgiving, or do you do? A lot of families don't do Christmas and Thanksgiving because, well, we know why. They're too close together. So, do you just do Thanksgiving, or do you do Christmas as well? Did somebody fart? What? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'll keep it down. That's a hazard of the occupation, actually. But that's how I do what I do. And what do you do? I've paid for your services, but I don't exactly know what you do. Although what I hear is that you do something really, really exceptional, and you've come recommended highly. So, I think just for the sake of all of us, if you wanted to explain your services, that would be great. Well, my services are pretty difficult to describe. There's one of those occasions where you just have to experience it firsthand, and then that's pretty much how it works. Most people, when I explain my services, are a little bit put off at first, until they naturally get wind of it, so to speak. Well, you're nice and enigmatic, aren't you? You wouldn't hire me if you knew what I did. You know, there's this thing called Pain Island and Pleasure Island. And I have to take you from your Pain Island and put you on Pleasure Island. And if you understood my services immediately, you'd probably just stay on Pain Island. Do you always talk that way? Yeah, I do. So is it just the four of you here? What about you? How are you? I'm alright. Do you enjoy Thanksgiving dinner with your family? It's okay. Do you choose to come together, like once or twice a year because it's like better for you as a family for that, in that way? Family's pretty toxic, yeah. So we spend time apart. We have a few bites around the table and we're done for the year. Okay, so that's the answer to my question. What do you think? Is one time a year good for you? Well, man, I don't know what you're offering here. Unlike my mother, I haven't heard anything about you. You're just a lone gunslinger sitting down at the Thanksgiving table asking questions. So, before I give you any answers, you're probably gonna have to give me some answers. Stop it. Would you not treat the gentleman in that way? Well, I can't help it, Mom. I am the man at the table. Well, you're the man at the table, are you? Is that right? Well, that's what he says. So you're the man at the table, are you? Yeah. I'm the man. Mm-hmm. Okay. You ever met a gunslinger, son? No, I haven't met a gunslinger. I didn't even know gunslingers existed anymore. I thought that was kind of a thing of the past. No. We're very much alive. So, ma'am, I noticed that you've got turkey, cranberry sauce, roasted turkey. That looks delicious. Cranberry sauce, green bean casserole, stuffing. Those must be yams, sweet potatoes. Those look nice. Well, thank you. Would you like some? No. What, gunslingers don't eat sweet potatoes? You're out of your league, son. I'm just here, watching. And now you see why it's so uncomfortable for me? This is toxic. This is pure toxicity, and he has done it every single Thanksgiving meal. Every single Thanksgiving meal. This asshole. Why is he an asshole? Why are you an asshole? He is an asshole. Because he doesn't care what people feel. He just speaks his mind. Yeah, I noticed that. So what's on your mind, son? You want to scrap with a gunslinger? I got nothing on me. Well, then why do you call yourself a gunslinger? Is your son always spoken his mind like this? Yeah, he speaks his mind all right. But that's what I love about him. Your mother loves you. Your sister, on the other hand, doesn't seem too happy. What's your story, man? Why are you so disrespectful? Gentleman comes in for Thanksgiving dinner, you never met him, and yet you're speaking your mind like that's some kind of prerogative. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Not enough people are speaking their mind. People like you roll in. We don't know what you're about. My mom doesn't know what you're about. You just sit down at the table. You're not even eating any of our food. You're just breathing on it. That's right. That's right. He's right. And breathing on your food. That's better than me breathing on you. You don't want me breathing on you. Look at me, son. You do not want me breathing on you. I breathe on your food. I bless your food. It's a benediction. I breathe on you. It's over. You understand that? They don't call me a gunslinger for nothing. But I don't actually carry any guns with me. When people call me a gunslinger, they're talking about something else. They talk about the way I sit down at a Thanksgiving table and commune with a dysfunctional family that only gets together once a year because they can't stand each other. Yeah, well, I don't know what my sister and my mother think, but I think you're a fraud. Ah, okay. I thought, well, yeah, okay. Is that more speaking of your mind? See what you did? You just polarized the entire table. Your sister, she's not talking now. Your mother's not talking now. And now it's just mano mano. But you've never faced down a gunslinger. You don't even know what I am. You just read your little comics, you watch your TV, your movies, you think you have an idea of what a gunslinger actually is. But this is 2019, son. I can promise you, you've never met a gunslinger like me. Well, so we have some casserole and some sweet potatoes and some cranberries. So does anybody want anything else to eat or to drink? Because we have some wine. I have wine. I have eggnog. I have eggnog. I have wine. I have eggnog. Mr. Gunslinger, I have beer. I have some beer if you want. I have beer. I also have ginger beer. And what else do I have? Mary, what else do we have in the refrigerator? I don't know, Mom. No, seriously, did you buy... We have some sparkling water. Do you... Mr. Gunslinger, would you like some sparkling water? What do they drink in the West? Do they have... Okay, so... You're not from the West. You are from where? I didn't quite get that on the website. You're from... Yeah, we don't actually discuss where the individual gunslingers hail from, because that kind of dampens the mystique of the gunslinger. We just, you request a gunslinger and we show up by request. It's pretty simple. If I just can fix my collar here. Oh, you've never seen a man fix his collar? You do realize, Edward, Mary Edward, I'll just call you Miss Jennings. Edward. You do realize that the moment I sat down at your table in my leather jacket and my ponytail, that you felt threatened by my masculinity, because you clearly lack direction in your life. And when you see a man of conviction sit down in front of you who embodies the presence that you lack, you're obviously threatened. And you will do whatever you... All right. Let's go. You're a fraud, man. You? What are you, Edward? Are you the real McCoy? You think you're the real McCoy because you can call out people who are fake, but you just project. That's you and me, right here. You think you're seeing me, but you're just projecting onto me. You've been projecting onto me since I sat down. Yeah, because gunslingers don't exist, man. What is a gunslinger? It's 2019. There's no frontier. There's no Indians. It's not, it's not the Wild West anymore, man. So you don't show up at my table, a total stranger, when I see my family once a year. And you're a gunslinger? You don't even eat our food, you're breathing. You're breathing on my food. Yeah, I'm breathing on your food. And at least Mary and your mother, they have respect to know that if I actually breathed on them, well, I would have to get up and move on. And all this great turkey, cranberry sauce, stuffing, is it yams? Or I don't know the difference between yams and sweet potatoes. Orange potatoes. You should put some brown sugar on that, Miss Jennings. If you put some brown sugar on that, I might actually eat it. But what happens is if I eat any of this Thanksgiving food, or if I have the sparkling water, or if I drink the ginger beer, Edward, that I will ruin my morning breath. And my morning breath is the technology that keeps all of this together, because we have family drama. You people can't even stand one another. Mary over here, she's an empath. She's completely decimated by her own introversion. And you, Edward, are an emasculated asshole. I'm sorry. And you're not going to mess with me, and you can't handle me. And I knew that the moment I sat down, because you had to critique me, and you had to undermine me, you had to dismantle me, because you're not a man. And a man who confronts another man like you're confronting me, a lone gunslinger, that aforesaid man is obviously not a man. Because you don't know what you're doing with your life. You're obviously threatened by someone who does know what they're doing with their life. Boys, no. Miss Jennings, with all due respect, you hired my services to sit at your Thanksgiving table, to observe the family dynamics, the drama. I act a little bit like a catalyst. I see what's happening. I can see what's happening with your daughter. I can see what's... God, I can hardly even track what's happening to your son, but it has to do with the fact that he doesn't have any ball... Oh yeah, let's do it. Right here. Let's do it. Let's do this. Come on, Edward. See, here's what happens, Miss Jennings. I'm sorry. I do not mean to be disrespectful, because I have the utmost respect for my elders. Thank you. Although I'm not sure how many years separate us, but you are a fantastic woman. This is between me and your son. That's right. Come on. Yeah. That's right. You see that? That's a tumbleweed going across town square. And the wind is catching sand. The sun is beating down. The cacti are sweating. And all the townsfolk, they're closing the shutters. Saloon doors have been locked. This is you and me, Edward. All right, Mr. Gunslinger. What you got? I've got my breath. Edward, what have you got, son? That's really interesting. You got your breath. Is your breath like your bullets or something? What if I told you I just have my mucus? Snot. Is that how we come to blows? You got your breath and I got my snot. Here we are at the table. Thanksgiving. Me and the Gunslinger. You know you're gonna work with me at some point. That we're gonna recruit you. Because all it takes is a little mano for you to man up. And come to terms with the fact that you have no idea what you are doing with your life. You have been emasculated, son. That is why when you sit at this table, and I think I've adequately assessed the family dynamic here, when you sit at this table with your wonderful sister and your wonderful mother, you drop a stink bomb, and you do it once a year, and it's because you are emasculated. Your sister, she has no healthy model of masculinity in her life. Miss Jennings, I don't know what happened to your husband. My husband left after Mary was born. Well, there you go. Father's not around. Disgruntled son, who is an older brother. The son, obviously an intellectual, am I right? Some kind of gifted thinker. Doesn't have any clarity about why he's alive. And so he becomes a predator upon all the positive energy around him, like Mary. This guy's right, Ed. You dominate all the time with your lectures. I don't want to come to Thanksgiving. I don't want to even come once a year. Because I don't want to listen to your lectures at the table about the books that you've read or Fox News or any of it. Your conservatism, Ed. You're an embittered human being. I'm embittered. You are a disaffected liberal. A faux revolutionary. And you haven't even figured out Dragon Breath, Edward. Miss Jennings, I just want to get something clear. When you hired my services, you did not hire Dragon Breath. Because that is a level up. You can upgrade. You can get on your phone right now and pay for Dragon Breath. But what I offer is Morning Breath. Okay? Morning Breath. And I also offer different degrees of infection. Right now, I've been breathing on your food. I'm not going to eat any of your food because if I eat your food, then the morning breath goes away. And I lose control of my environment. And there's no point in hiring a gunslinger if the gunslinger has lost control of his environment. Am I right, Mary? I need to stay in control of the environment because I have direction in my life. I know where I'm going. That is all tied to the breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I keep the morning breath to myself because I do not want to infect your soul directly, because that's just one level below dragon breath. I breathe on the food. You receive the benediction from me. Things start to change for you energetically. The whole table starts to undergo a transmogrification through the meal. Next year, you may be likely to have a Thanksgiving and a Christmas together because I have been breathing on your food, Edward. So are you hiring? Mr. Gunslinger? Are you hiring? Because I've got some plans for what I can do with my mucus. If you want somebody who needs direction with their life, who doesn't know where they're going with their life, who is emasculated, who's too caught in their mind, whatever it is. Edward, you need a lot of work. You haven't had a positive male figure in your life. And just because one gunslinger walks through your door on Thanksgiving Day doesn't mean you're going to know how to align yourself with the deeper masculine. Right? There are not a lot of men out there. You know, we're in a society of beta males that have been emasculated. You're one of them. So when you come face to face with a gunslinger, you are obviously going to deconstruct him. But I am a gunslinger. Your mother hired me. You are he's a fine gunslinger. Well, thank you. I am a fine gunslinger. Am I not, Mary? You're nice. You're a nice looking man. Well, thank you. Thank you. Edward, the verdict is in. Now, if you want to apprentice under a gunslinger and perhaps weaponize your mucus for the betterment of mankind, we can talk about that. But there is a training program, right? First, you have to submit yourself to review. There's an extensive interview process. There's questionnaires. We're basically assessing your relationship to your masculine core. Because like almost every man in this society, you lack any degree of conviction about how to live your life, right? You go about your day without enjoying any of the beauty that's all around you. Can you even hear the birds right now outside the window? They're chirping. Listen. Now, if you give it some thought, you can figure out on your own, without me, how to enjoy the world around you and use your mucus as a tool, as a compassionate skill set for doing what I do. See, in order to become a gunslinger, in order to become invited to family gatherings over the holidays of dysfunctional families, very kind people, Mary and Miss Jennings, you are lovely ladies, and I think I've adequately assessed the problem. And Edward, when I say that you're the problem, I'm asking you to man up, Edward. Right? Yeah, we go at it. You about to pull your guns on me, but then in that moment when you are fighting against a fellow man, you're finally feeling your balls for the first time. Right in that moment when you want to tear apart a man for being a man, you feel like a man. And that's the beginning of the gunslinger ethos. And you find it's like in Doctor Strange. You find the weapon. He had his cloak. I have my breath. And you into it, and I think that's wonderful. You perhaps have the fantasy that it's your mucus that is going to be the liberating agent, the lubricant of other people's emancipation. And that's the beginning. That's where we start. But you gotta realize, man, you are not a man just because another man sits down and you attack that man. Are you hearing me, Edward? See, oftentimes it's another man, a lone gunslinger, comes into your orbit. And you start to feel that dissociated masculinity that's haunted you your whole life. And instead of actually making your life better, it comes out on your sister, Mary, and your mother, Miss Jennings. You ladies are fantastic and fabulous. It's not you. And Edward, I'm only coming down hard on you because you don't have a father figure. There is no strong patriarchal presence in your life. And of course, right when you exit this room, everybody's going to be condemning the patriarchy as if a male figure or father figure is somehow poison. So, are you saying, Mr. Gunslinger, that my brother has a chance? Yeah, I would love for my son to become a man. He's 33 years old and he doesn't know what it means to be. I'm sorry, son. No, it's okay, Mom. I'm gonna use my mucus. It's that simple, isn't it? Yeah, Edward, it's that simple. You just basically, you find whatever it is about you, that's your gift, it's something that comes with you naturally, and you find a way to weaponize it on behalf of humanity. All right, it's really simple. It takes lots of discernment, however, to learn how to skillfully employ your native gifts for the betterment of humankind. So, when I met the gunslinger who initiated me, he helped me see that my breath, which under normal circumstances is quite a polarizing agent, could be used to help people. I mean, the mere threat of me breathing on your face, sharing this breath with this space with my toxic breath, that's enough to bring it in, right? Okay? All of you have a certain fear that if I breathe on you, you'll fall and wilt like flowers and die. And that's the end of the holidays. I knew that when I walked in, right? And you notice how you've been eating the turkey and the yams, sweet potatoes, orange stuff, and the cranberry sauce and the green bean casserole, that with time you have been transformed, and now you, especially you, Edward, but thankfully you too, and you, Mary, and Miss Jennings, you guys have been great, but you all have come to a better understanding as a family unit, and you now understand, I don't think I'm being presumptuous here, you now understand what is the nature of the problem when you come together. You have a boy who is not yet a man, who has not been yet initiated into his manhood, who lacks clarity, conviction, direction in his life. And Miss Jennings, you have been such a wonderful mother to just love your son unconditionally. And Mary, I'm truly sorry what you have experienced. Thank you. Oh, you're a really sweet woman, and you shouldn't have to deal with this. Lost your father, and your brother is overbearing, and thank you. Thank you for seeing that, seeing me. Well, you're beautiful, and I'd like to take you out sometime. I think every gunslinger needs a partner, and I'm ready to stop being a lone gunslinger, so maybe we'll go out sometime. And Edward, don't wipe your nose again. Start collecting samples of that mucus, young man. And thank you, Miss Jennings, for inviting me here today. You'll receive the invoice in your inbox. All right, everybody. This is your favorite gunslinger. My services are available for the holidays. Hit me up.